Hello, fellow humans. Today we are going to be talking about some people who are way too easily offended. This is the Reddit Rabble. Let's jump down the rabbit hole together. Today's topic comes from r/AskReddit. What is the most inoffensive thing you've seen someone get offended by? I was at the vet with my cat and he sneezed. This was apparently very offensive to an elder woman. She was there with a corgi, and she started screaming at me for about 30 minutes about pet hygiene. Elegant Pun responds, "Sorry, I've been trying to teach him to sneeze into this hanky, but you know how cats are." Yeah, OP, I definitely agree. It is pretty crazy someone would be offended by that. After all, if you only take healthy pets to the vet, how does she take care of hers if they get sick? When I was a child, my mom paid for something with a check. The cashier remarked that my mom had nice handwriting. My mom flew off the handle, and we had to storm out of the shop in outrage. To this day, I have no idea what happened. Tan Croissant replies, "Maybe it brought up sore feelings from when she failed the doctor entrance exams." Wow, that comment was pretty savage. I do wonder what happened though and why her mom freaked out like that. If you have any ideas on what might have happened, go ahead and put that down in the comments. While working tech support back during the dot-com boom, I had a customer get upset with me over the use of the word icon. He said it had religious implications, and he insisted I call Windows icons little picture things. OP, that is pretty ridiculous. As someone who used to work for a call center, I can definitely agree that customers can make you do some pretty crazy things that don't make a whole lot of sense half the time, and that's an understatement. At my wedding, we marked the vegetarian items as vegetarian. This made the one vegetarian at my wedding, sister-in-law who hates me, fly into a catatonic rage because we're singling out the vegetarian food as vegetarian and not treating it as normal food. Then how the F are they supposed to know it's vegetarian? Couching replies, "So you don't have to ask." OP comes back with, "See, this is where you went wrong. They want to be able to ask, so then everybody knows they're vegetarian." I am for sure with you, OP. She did go pretty crazy on this one. Though there is nothing wrong with being vegetarian or vegan or having any other type of diet preference, to go to that kind of extreme is just a bit out there if you do ask me. I still remember in kindergarten when my friend and I were reading all the colors out loud on one of those Crayola super packs. I got straight up yelled at and sent to the principal's office for saying orange pizzazz because the teacher said I called someone a piss ass and would not listen despite having the crayon as evidence. After a 30-minute scolding and waiting for my mom to leave work to pick me up for my suspension, she came in all apologetic. When I explained to her the whole situation, not the school side, Mom went apeshit. I'd heard her say shit once. That's the only swear I'd ever heard from her, and we had just been rear-ended in traffic. "How about runt? Can he say runt? 'Cause you're all being runts right now. This is effing ridiculous." And just went off while I'm sitting there all stunned, and the principal is just red AF. I got unsuspended on the spot, but she pulled me out for the day anyway. We had a lovely day, and she explained very well how I shouldn't swear like that unless absolutely necessary, and I've exhausted all civility. When being civil simply isn't working, sometimes you might have to call someone a piss ass. The next day at school, I learned that I now had the stigma of being called the kid who got the Crayola super pack taken away. Wow, OP. Sounds like you've got some serious mama bear love there. I actually remember something very similar happening in my school, although they never took our crayons away. That seems a bit extreme. This one comes from Third's the Word. When I worked in customer service. Yes, ma'am. Don't you ma'am me? Don't you effing ma'am me, you piece of shit? Shwoo responds with, okay, sir. Honestly, OP, I agree with Shwoo on this one. That's probably what I would have said too. I really wish you would have included your response after that. But it's funny nonetheless. This one comes from Barely Breeding. My dad loves to tell the story of how, shortly after they were married, he and my mom went to get some fast food. As they pulled up to the drive-thru window, my very conservative mom saw a sign that said, "Condiments available upon request," and said, "Oh my god, that's disgusting. Why would a restaurant feel the need to give those out?" She had misread it and thought that they were giving out condoms upon request. This one is pretty funny, and though I will admit it may be pretty easy to misread that, I don't know of a time period where that would have been normal. If you know of one, put it down in the comments and maybe give me an example. Explain how this might have been misconstrued as an actual possibility. Here's one from Shrimp Sandwich. Someone once got offended because I used the word black in conversation. I was talking about an article of clothing, the color black. They tried to make it into something about race, and that I shouldn't use the term black anymore, and I should say African American. I said, that makes no sense. I'm literally talking about the color black. Am I supposed to say I'm wearing an African American colored shirt? Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that's actually more offensive. OP, I definitely have to agree with you on that. When referring to, an actual color like an article of clothing or paint or a crayon, it definitely does make sense to just call it by the name of the color itself rather than trying to be the PC police and I suppose, desensitize that type of thing. I'm not really sure what the right terminology on that would be, to be honest, but I do understand they're coming from a good place at least. They've just made it to the point where it's no longer helpful and they've started becoming part of the problem again. It's unfortunate, but it is the other extreme of the spectrum. This one is from Niffer Say Niffer. I used to be friends and roommates with a girl who thought everything was explicit harassment. She came home from work hysterical one day, and I was like, what happened? She said she was explicitly harassed at work. Concerned, I asked for the details. Her response was, "My male coworker told me I looked nice today." Confused, I asked what else happened. Was his tone suggestive? Was he touching her at the same time? There had to be context, right? No. Simply, in passing, he complimented her. OP, I have to thank you for bringing this up. Situations like this absolutely infuriate me. It's absurd to falsely accuse someone of explicit harassment of any kind. It will destroy someone's life if you're not careful and absolutely 100% sure that is what happened. People who falsely accuse others, I do believe, should be punished. It may be unpopular, but you're putting someone else's life at stake by falsely accusing them. Alright, OP says, "Oh Jesus. Okay, I was working table service in a bar, and I walked up to two ladies, one of whom had long dreadlocks. I said, 'Are you okay there? Can I get you anything?' And one of them went very quiet and angrily said, 'I'm not a sir.' Me, 'I beg your pardon?' Her, 'I'm not a sir.' Me, 'Okay, good to know, but I said, are you alright there?' Her, still angry, 'Oh.' Me, 'So, anything from the bar?' Her friend, 'No thank you. No tip for me.' She did have quite a mustache though, probably where the issue came from. Niza replies, Certainly if you'd complimented her on the mustache, she would have left a tip. OP replies, true, it wasn't a big Salvador Dali hipster mustache. More of teenage boy's bum fluff. Probably better than what I myself could have grown at the time. Wow, OP, that does sound kind of intense, but it does seem like a typical case of a self-conscious woman. Though most of us won't admit it, it happens more often than we'd like. I do have to applaud you for your patience, though. Alright, fellow humans, that's my time. If you liked this video, remember to smash that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for more content just like this. This is the Reddit Rabble, signing off.